Imagine a book so shocking that the Catholic Church banned it, yet powerful leaders kept a copy hidden under their pillows. That book is The Prince by Niccolò Machiavelli, written in 1513. Some call it a handbook for tyrants. Others say it's simply the most brutally honest political guide ever written. In today's whiteboard journey, we'll uncover who Machiavelli really was, what The Prince actually teaches, and why, 5 centuries later, people still debate whether he was a genius or just plain evil. Niccolò Machiavelli was born in Florence, Italy in 1469. Florence wasn't just any city, it was the heartbeat of the Renaissance, buzzing with artists like Leonardo da Vinci and thinkers like Michelangelo. But while Florence glowed with creativity, it was also a place of chaos, wars, assassinations, and rival families battling for control. Young Machiavelli grew up right in the middle of this storm. He wasn't born into wealth or nobility. He was from a modest family. Yet by his late 20s he worked in government, rubbing shoulders with popes, kings, and generals. To picture Machiavelli's world, think of Italy not as one country, but as a chessboard. There were city-states, Florence, Venice, Milan, Naples, and the Papal States, all scheming, fighting, and switching alliances. Add to that foreign powers like France and Spain swooping in, and you've got non-stop political drama. Florence itself tossed rulers in and out like a game of musical chairs. One year, the powerful Medici family ruled. The next, fiery preacher Savonarola took over. For a young politician like Machiavelli, survival meant being smart, flexible, and just a little ruthless. Machiavelli didn't just watch politics, he lived it. In 1498, Florence became a republic, and he was appointed as a top diplomat. That meant traveling across Europe, negotiating with dangerous men. He met Pope Julius II, famous for his temper, and Cesare Borgia, the ruthless duke who inspired parts of The Prince. These experiences were like his classroom. Every battle, betrayal, and backroom deal gave him material for the book he'd later write. Think of Machiavelli as a sponge, soaking up the harsh realities of power, war, and survival. But power is a slippery thing. In 1512, the Medici family staged a comeback with the help of Spanish troops. The Republic collapsed, and Machiavelli, loyal to the old government, was suddenly out of a job. Worse, he was accused of plotting against the Medici, arrested, and tortured on the rack. Eventually, they let him go, but his career was destroyed. Forced into exile, he retreated to his small farm outside Florence. Imagine being a man who once met kings, now stuck in the countryside with nothing but time, bitterness, and a pen. Now picture Machiavelli in exile, no government job, no power, and no allies. What does he do? He writes. In 1513, he drafts The Prince, a small book but packed with big, dangerous ideas. He dedicates it to Lorenzo de' Medici, hoping to win favor. Was this flattery? Maybe. Or maybe it was a brilliant move to slip advice to rulers disguised as loyalty. Either way, the book is Machiavelli's way back into politics, or at least into history. Spoiler, he didn't get the job back, but his words lived on forever. Here's what made The Prince so unusual. Philosophers before Machiavelli, like Plato or Aristotle, talked about justice, virtue, and ideal states. Machiavelli threw all that out the window. He asked, how do rulers actually keep power in the messy real world? His answer, not by being nice, but by being clever, flexible, and sometimes ruthless. Instead of how things should be, he wrote about how things are. That brutal honesty is why some call him the father of modern political science. He was less dreamer. Machiavelli starts by explaining that not all principalities are alike. Some are hereditary, passed down from father to son. Those are easier to rule because people are used to the family. Others are new, either conquered or newly created. These are harder. Why? Because people resist change, and the ruler has no track record. Machiavelli warns, winning power is tough, but keeping it is tougher. To survive, a prince must act fast, removing rivals, rewarding allies, and securing loyalty before rebellion brews. It's like saying easier to keep grandma's bakery than to open one from scratch. One of Machiavelli's strongest points: a ruler must rely on his own army, not on hired soldiers. Mercenaries, he says, are lazy, greedy, and unreliable. They'll fight only as long as the money flows, and switch sides if offered more. Auxiliaries, or borrowed troops, are even worse. They obey another ruler, not you. If they win, you owe them. If they lose, you're doomed. That's why Machiavelli insists, arm your own citizens. A prince's power rests not on promises or paychecks, but on steel held by loyal hands. Machiavelli introduces two cool concepts, virtù and fortuna. Don't confuse virtù with virtue. Here it means strength, skill, boldness, the guts to act decisively. Fortuna is fortune or luck, which he pictures as a river that floods unpredictably. You can't control fortune, but you can build dams and channels to prepare. In other words, success comes from combining guts with preparation. Wait too long and fortune crushes you. Seize the moment and you ride the wave. For Machiavelli, the bold win, the timid get swept away. Here's Machiavelli's most famous and infamous question. Is it better to be loved or feared? His answer? Both, if possible. But if you must choose, fear is safer. Why? Because people's love is fragile. It breaks when times get hard. But fear of punishment sticks. Still, he warns against cruelty that turns into hate. A smart ruler uses just enough fear to keep order without sparking rebellion. Think of it like parenting. If you're only fun dad, kids run wild. If you're only scary dad, they hate you. Balance is key. Machiavelli is clear. Rulers don't have to be good, but they should look good. People judge by appearances, not by truth. So, a prince should seem honest, merciful, and religious, even if behind the scenes he lies, cheats, or breaks promises. Hypocrisy? Absolutely, but effective hypocrisy. Machiavelli's logic is simple. The crowd sees the mask, not the man. If the mask keeps the state stable, wear it proudly. As he might say, it's better to look like a saint while scheming like a fox.